This portion of Local Lifestyles is sponsored by Gary Price, elder law attorney.
Well, and often we talk about Gary's book, what's inside the book, and who the target audience is, but we seldom talk about what inspired him to write it. So Gary's here to talk about the book. How long ago did you write it?
It's been about, you know what, I've been saying 4 years for a couple of years now. So about 6 years, I bet.
It's time to update.
Time flies,
yes.
Yeah. Well, you know, the strategies, the discussion are all the same. The law hasn't changed on those. What has changed are the numbers. But if I were to rewrite it today, we'd be saying that again next year. The numbers have changed, but the strategies are still just as good now as they were 6 years ago.
So when you say the numbers, in what way have the numbers changed?
Oh, well, you know, like what the maximum income cap for some,
those
you know,
things that
like
can
that.
be flexible with
Right.
the changes in the economy.
They change every
year. Every year?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's your job to keep up with it.
I keep up with it, but I don't rewrite the book every time they do it.
Yeah, but I think that's just a talking point when we come to see you, is you're going to tell us what the numbers are this year.
Right, because we do the math every time,
right.
Based on the new numbers. Sure.
Right. Well, when you started taking notes, I guess, when did it become a book in your head?
Well, you know what? It became a book when I started taking notes. First I decided I was going to do the book. Then I started taking notes, really writing it down, what the common questions were. Surprisingly or not surprisingly, people ask a lot of the same questions when they come see me for the first time. So I kept a log of the questions most often asked, and I address it in the book. So they still ask the questions, but now they take the book home and they hear the answer again when they read the book. I also took notes on the most common misconceptions about Medicaid, misinformation about Medicaid, and I respond to those in the book as well.
So when people get that, do you get any responses from your clients when they've gone through the book and come back to you then to make those plans?
Yeah, they're real nice about it, and maybe the ones that don't want to be nice say nothing. I don't know, but the comments I get are you know, it's easy to read. I had a copyright go through, and if it sounded too legal to take that out or to rephrase it so it's not so legal, easier to read. Those are the main comments I get.
And that's the thing that impresses me about it, is that it is so accessible, that you can understand it, and it is probably all the questions they've asked have rolled out on some of those pages there. So you're reading my mind.
Well, I tried to. I tried to. In writing it, I did. And but then again, I didn't have to read the mind too much, because it was based upon those common questions, and they are asked just about every time. And the misconceptions are on people's minds just about every time when I meet them for the first time.
And we've talked about those several times on the show, and how those kind of urban legends roll out there in the conversation.
They do.
And they just become true.
They do. And a lot of times people read it in here, but they also want to hear it, you know.
Yes.
And they want to make sure that how that misconception may or may not apply to their specific situation. So they want to hear that, yeah, you've heard that misconception, and the misconception applies or doesn't apply, however you say it, to their own particular instances and their particular resources.
And so how do people get the book?
Call my office, 812-475-8444. We send you a copy, no charge.
And there's some on your desk. I saw them yesterday.
That's right.
Thank you, Gary. Get your copy of the book. We'll be back with more Lifestyles right after this. Stick around.
This portion of Local Lifestyles is sponsored by Gary Price, elder law attorney.